Hi, Jackson Whiteman from Proper Propaganda, jacksonwhiteman.com. Coming at you today with the first in a series of video posts. We're going to call this series Shoot That Term in the Head. And it's a video series about business terms, business buzzwords, managerial buzzwords that need to be banished from the business kingdom, that need to be sent to the glue factory, as it were, because they are either too vague, too nebulous, because they promote unethical behavior in some cases amongst business leaders, because as a manager, if you use these terms, you're really not going to get the results that you hope to. You're not going to achieve the goals you hope to. So the first in this series, I think we're kicking it off with a great one, is maximizing shareholder value. This is a term that came into vogue in the sort of early 1980s with guys like Jack Welch and Robert Goizuda, excuse me. It's a term that is incredibly vague. How do you know when you've maximized shareholder value? Obviously, if you've generated great returns like a Jack Welch did or like Goizuda did for a long time, a new equilibrium is set, so you can never really know. I think maximizing shareholder value became essentially a way for business leaders to convince people that this was what they were trying to do, when in fact they were getting themselves, they were making more and more money for themselves. And in fact, in this issue of Harvard Business Review, the latest one, there's a great article on, I think it's page 58, on maximizing shareholder value and on the era of shareholder value capitalism. And one of the central findings is that, guess what? In the era of shareholder value capitalism, shareholders made less money than they ever have before. So I think we need to get rid of this term maximizing shareholder value, because really, how do you know if you've done it? And even if you haven't done it, if you're trying to do it, it may lead to highly unethical behavior. If my role as a company is to maximize shareholder value, shouldn't I produce crap and pawn it off on my customers? Maybe that's the way to do it. Shouldn't I open up a factory in Bangladesh and staff it with 10-year-olds because they're cheaper than, say, guys in Mississippi or Detroit or somewhere? Maybe that's maximizing shareholder value. Who the hell really knows? What we do know is that this era of shareholder value capitalism has not generated returns for shareholders. So what am I proposing in terms of communication techniques in place of using this very terrible term, maximizing shareholder value? I think the key is to boil down the goals and make them more specific, to basically communicate smart goals to shareholders. So that is to say, for instance, this quarter, we will outperform our industry rivals in terms of return to shareholders. This quarter, we will spend more on R&D than 3 of our 5 rivals. This quarter, we will enter 4 new markets. This quarter, we plan to launch 3 new products. You will see returns from these products in 2 quarters. Just be honest, and when you speak to shareholders, speak about real measurable things, because to say that you're going to maximize value for me is absolutely crazy. This is particularly true if you're in a declining industry. I mean, what does maximizing shareholder value for a newsprint company mean? Does it mean that the newsprint company is simply going to lose less of my money than other newsprint companies? We have to get rid of this term. We have to take maximizing shareholder value out behind the barn and shoot it in the head. It needs to go. jacksonwhiteman.com, Proper Propaganda, the first in a new video blog series on terms that we really need to banish from the business kingdom. Thank you very much for listening, and hope you'll be back again. We're going to definitely do more of these.